Ruben Amorim has got a decision to make. Is it Joshua Zirkzee or Rasmus Hojlund? What do you think? Drop down a comment and let me know. Guys, welcome to the United of Sport. My name is Webb. Welcome back from that interesting victory. Hard earned, but well, if you are mad United, always expect a mad to bring the goods at the right time. No? Anyway, so guys, the talk of town, the talk of the world now, talking Man United, is Joshua Zirkzee and how he changed the game. Not the first time, not the second, but for the third consecutive time, Zirkzee comes on and he has a clear impact, performs way better than Rasmus Hojlund, who starts ahead of him. Now, the obvious reaction from many people is that Zirkzee deserves to be starting games ahead of Hojlund, which I agree with, honestly, because the reality is, whereas Zirkzee himself is not the finished article, Hoyland is not doing himself any favors. He's struggling in everything. I just don't have never seen a striker who is always falling on the ground. I don't get it. The guy is big. He looks strong. He is strong, but always on the ground. I don't get it. I don't get it. How can you score goals? How can you create goals? How can you get yourself in goal scoring positions when you're always trying to find your way on the ground? He's always falling. That's a sign that you're panicking. You're not confident on your feet. That you're not sure of what you're trying to do. It's a bad thing. It looks so ugly on Hoyland, by the way, how he keeps going down with his size. So, big weakness that. But the thing is, Joshua Zirkzee is a player we've got to take a bit slowly. We saw what happened with him the last game he started and how people destroyed him. And in a rather extremely rare occurrence, he was pulled off in the first half. I think it was about just after 30 minutes. Now, for such a player to gain the confidence to come back and start games, it takes a bit of time. And I'm sure Ruben Amorim will be thinking about that as he's contemplating what to do. If in the event that Zirkzee starts and it doesn't go well, for example, on Sunday against Brighton, we're at Old Trafford, if he starts Zirkzee and things don't happen well for him, won't they destroy him again? The same fans who are destroying him when he had a poor start, an extremely poor start. So that's the question. But also, there are players who are better off as impact substitutes, if I would call him that. I feel like Zirkzee is looking like he can be that kind of player. Of course, we are all trying to understand him. I think now we appreciate his game more, how he drops back and loves again 9.5. I now clearly see what he does. Loves to drop back and get the ball and then runs with it and carries people away and goes and he's a bit direct. So he's sort of a threat whenever he gets on the ball because he can use the ball on his feet. In fact, at times I feel like he's got to have smart players around him so that he connects them. He's better, I think, setting up others than perhaps scoring goals himself. That's why he calls himself the 9.5. Drops a little in between the 9 and the 10, or thereabout, and just makes things happen in there. I think that's a beautiful thing. It shows the way he drops and carries the ball and then uses his body to beat off people. If he can work on his shot, that will I think he will be lethal because he can shoot from a distance and score goals, or he can shoot from a distance and create rebounding opportunities. That's why I think at times, if we had a better, more lethal number 9, you want to have Zirkzee perhaps as one of the two tens, and have a finisher ahead of him because he's not your really finisher. There are moments where I saw Bruno get the ball, go towards the byline, and swing in a cross, but Zirkzee was a little behind. There was no one to get to the end of it. That's because it's not his instinct is not there to poach and go there at the top of the line. And perhaps that's why Hoyland can be looked at times as a better option. But even Hoyland is not performing. So it's a difficult situation, I think, to decide. But we might be carried away by Zirkzee's cameos and how he performs when he comes off the bench. But, guys, there are certain players who are better off the bench than starting, who are impact players, but also every team in football needs impact substitutes. Because when the first group doesn't perform, you want to look at your bench and see players who can come and change the game. Now, if Zirkzee has done that, Can't he then perhaps first enjoy that for a bit? So for Hoyland, I think they should commit because he's the number 9 we still have. Because even if Zirkzee started ahead of him against Brighton and stuff, it's not a solution per se because Zirkzee won't start all games. So it's Hoyland who is supposed to step up his game because there are little things about him that perhaps give him the edge in the number 9 position. So I think they need to work more on Hoyland to help him with his movement, stay on his feet because he has shown that he can do certain things before. I think Hoyland has just fallen off. You know, you see the way Maguire fell off last season. It's the same thing with Hoyland because Hoyland wasn't this bad. Hoyland had the basic signs of a world class, a prospective world class striker in the making in his first season. And you had the Michael Owens guys who have scored goals before saying the same, saying this boy has it in him. With time, he can be something different. Right now, he has fallen way off. Is it the way Amorim loves to play that is making it difficult for him? Is it something personal? There is something not right. He has lost his confidence completely that he needs something to happen to him to step it up because honestly, I strongly still believe that Rasmus Hojlund can can perform because he has shown if his first season at Neto is anything to go by. So I think we might want to painfully have some bit of patience with Hoyland, hoping that they can work on him to improve. We might want to bring, you see the way Amorim has started introducing Toby Collier into games, and I'll talk about Toby and what he does, his advent and what he does to the team. But you see the way he has introduced Collier, I think Amorim needs to do the same with Chido Obi because the striking department is also numerically disadvantaged because Zirkzee and Hoyland are not enough. So Amorim needs to get a solution, add another goal scorer to the lot just to, you know, to push these two because Hoyland especially is not doing enough. Zirkzee had his moment where he was, he took all the flack. He was given a brutal, reaction from the fans, and from that he had to, to change things. He stepped up his game. He became serious. He became more mature. He knew this is Man United. Hoyland perhaps also needs a turning point. I don't know whether, it may not be fans, going all out on him, but there should be ways. There should be a turning point. Every player has a turning point because there is a player in Hoyland. There is a player, if the last season is anything to go by, if some of the few things he has done on the ball, the goals he has scored at times, is anything to go by, there is a player in him. He's not really as bad as what we see now. There is something that can be done. So for me, solution is not entirely dropping Hoyland and starting Zirkzee because Zirkzee still will be exposed and will be calling for his head. He can still enjoy his cameos for now. He can still enjoy his cameos, come impact the game. Perhaps Hoyland can start. Maybe he can be given more minutes. Keep increasing the minutes Zirkzee comes on, from 10 to 20 to 30 to, don't know, like that slowly, so that we see as his confidence keeps growing, then we can then make the clear, if Hoyland is not improving, we can properly make the decision that Zirkzee should be the guy starting. But Zirkzee himself is not a number 9. So instead of looking to Zirkzee as a solution, I would rather look to Chido Obi and start introducing him. Start introducing Chido Obi because he's the goal poacher, the natural goal poacher we have in Man United. He might be young, but if he's good enough, he's old enough. Look at kids like Dibling. Look at kids like Skelly. Look at Lamine Yamal. Look at, I can go on and on and on. There's lots of kids who have shown up, stepped up their game, proved, and they have been trusted. What young people need is trust. So if Zirkzee, if Hoyland is not doing the work and scoring the goals, start introducing Chido Obi next to him, just for psychologically step him, to get him serious and, put him under that pressure to perform or to deliver. Otherwise, you can't be a 72 million pound striker and a kid who was, snatched for free nearly is starting ahead of you. So that will be a wake-up call for him because Hoyland just needs something to turn his season around. I don't think he's got to be just forgotten about, benched and forgotten about. There is a player. Think about the first Hojlund you saw. With all the issues United had, how he crafted goals from out of nothing and nothing. The hunger he wanted, he showed how much he wanted he has a better manager now. There is something that we can still get out of Hojlund. We cannot give up on him yet. That's my take. Subscribe to the Netero Sport. My name is Webb. Cheers.